What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, this is something that I just saw on fadeawayworld.net, which is increasingly becoming a site that I think is losing a lot of its quality, but there's still some pretty good articles on there from time to time. But this is something that I had read about years before, but it had slipped my memory as to this event occurring. And that is that Elgin Baylor, who was a young NBA superstar at the time, he and the Los Angeles Lakers team and staff nearly lost their lives in a plane crash back in 1960. I believe this was the last year that the Lakers were in Minneapolis. I believe it was the last year. So this would have been a 1959-1960 season. So this would have been during that winter of 59-60. Because I believe 60-61 was the first year they were in LA. So I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comments section below. In the 1950s, the Lakers won 4 NBA championships, and by 1958 had a stud named Elgin Baylor leading the way. Baylor went on to become a great scorer, the 1958-59 Rookie of the Year, and an 11-time NBA All-Star, but his story ended almost before it began. In 1960, the Minneapolis Lakers, plane crash landed after getting lost with Elgin Baylor on board, and the story was shared on Roland Lazenby's The Show, the inside story of the spectacular Los Angeles Lakers in the words of those who lived it. The flight to Minneapolis, normally 2 hours, extended to 3, then 3.5 hours. Ice formed, first on the wings and windows, then in the cabin itself. Worry became fear. Knowing they were about out of fuel and nowhere near Minneapolis, pilot Vernon Ullman decided to take the plane down and look for a place to land. As they descended, his co-pilot opened the cockpit window, reached out, and scraped the ice from the windshield. Remember, this is Minneapolis, not LA. So, well, actually, I should say this is Minnesota in the winter, where it can get extraordinarily cold and snowy. Baylor decided to take his blanket and lie down in the aisle at the back of the plane. He thought, if I'm going to die, I might as well die comfortably, as he braced himself against the seat supports on either side. The plane made several more passes, each one goosing the passengers' anxiety higher. At one point, Ullman pulled up to avoid high-tension wires. On the final try, the plane cut the engines, and the plane floated into a cornfield. The crop had been left uncut, and 3 feet of snow rested on top of the corn. And they had a monstrous snowstorm, 3 feet of snow. The touchdown was pillow soft. The passengers cheered and, upon emptying from the plane, engaged in a joyful snowball fight. This is one of the most intense stories that many people don't know much about. In 1959-1960, Baylor had just emerged as a star in the Lakers, averaging 29.6 points and 16.4 rebounds per game. But surely when they were on the plane, none of that made any difference. All that mattered was that they miraculously survived. Yeah, I mean, had it not been for the 3 feet of snow, had it not been for the height of the cornfield, things could have been different. Had it not been for the experience and savvy judgment of the pilot, you don't know how these things could have ended up, man. You know, it could have been one of those things where, you know, I don't even want to speak about it, but you know what I mean. It could be one of those things that could have been one of the biggest tragedies in NBA history. What ifs? What if Baylor had lived? And what if that Laker team hadn't been taken out? What they could have accomplished? And, you know. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.